So Vince, when we look at a Vortex when it's first assembled, completely assembled, it looks like a normal tripod. What are some uses of it?
Okay, well the unique aspects of the Arizona Vortex from a conventional tripod is first of all the fact it's modular. It allows us to break it apart. We've already discussed some of the uses in earlier videos that we shot. One being the use of the focused floating anchor, a gin pole, an A-frame, and this here configuration we're looking at right here set up is an actual tripod, but a little bit different than your typical tripod. The fact that it's modular and it has pins and allows the legs to extend and retract individually allows us to set this thing up almost as an A-frame in this configuration. It gives us the A-frame ability to lean it out using a posterior anchor with a mechanical advantage system that allows us to transfer the load over to that and totally take the back leg, or the easel leg is what they refer to it as in the instruction manual, take it out of play, allow the thing to immediately convert into an A-frame, which gives us that high directional out over the edge, which makes it really easy to take a rescue package over and back up and transverse this edge.
Now, the ropes we have rigged in the system here, these are just for demonstration purpose only. We'd have at least half-inch rope in these if we were using them for rescue purposes. But with this doing it, what it'll do is keep the ropes from actually rubbing against where we normally would have to put mats down. They probably won't hit the surface of the edge here at all when we lean it out. Is that correct?
That's correct, Carney. These are just little demonstration 8mm Prusik accessory cores, and we've used two different colors just to give you an idea of one of the features of the Vortex that's really neat. The fact that it's got these pulley sheaves, which are rated the full strength of the head, which is well above the strength of most general use pulleys and even the carabiners themselves. What it does is it gives us a little bit of extra height. On the orange rope right here, you can see it's traveling through that sheaved pulley. We gain the full height of the tripod or the A-frame, whatever configuration you have to be using it as, and it allows us to pull the rescue load or the package all the way up to this point right here. As opposed to using a pulley, a conventional pulley, we're going to have to hook it into one of the holes and anchor it off. Well, if you don't have a twist link or a 90-degree carabiner link that allows you to turn this, what it does is it has to add an extra carabiner to keep the plane of the pulley in the direction we're wanting to use it. We would not want to use this in this direction right here because you're going to be putting an oblique angle on the sides of the pulley. It's going to make the system much weaker than it would be in the configuration it's designed to be used in.
Now, the disadvantage of using the two carabiners is we're going to start dropping our anchor point lower and lower, so that could become problems at some point, but we just adapt and come over that if we have to, or use the twist link as you were talking about.
Exactly. If we had to, we could use the twist link, but in this configuration, what gains us the most height, of course, is this pulley sheave. We've had to use two carabiners to get our pulley in the proper configuration for transversing this edge. That right here is probably not a huge issue, but you can imagine in some of your rescue situations that you've been confronted with, you're going to need every bit of height you've got. If you're trying to get the person up out of a manhole, for example, you're talking about the rescuer, you're talking about the basket, you've got all these loads that are attached to it, and you need all the height that you can possibly get. So the little bit of height that it looks like you're saving may not look like a whole lot here, but it might be the difference in being able to transition an edge with the rescue package or not doing it. Also, we always want to try and keep these knots real small. We're not going to hook 10 or 15 things into this little hole. By keeping this knot nice, small, and compact, again, it doesn't end up dropping that point. Some other things we like to look at on the Arizona Vortex are the legs. In this configuration, we're using the Raptor Claw legs. These give us a really sharp point that is fixed, and it likes to dig into the surface. Probably not the choice you'd want if you're on the roof of a building. You're going to puncture through. You want the flat feet in that configuration, which allows you to dissipate that load. But right here, we want that foot to lock into place. Although the system will lock itself into place and we can anchor the system down, we always like to tie these legs off just in case. You never know what could happen. So what we've done here, we've back tied the leg on this side, and we've tied the front to keep it from kicking to the back. Remember, in an A-frame, as we transition that ledge, if we let this system lean out, the legs are going to want to kick back. So the actual front anchor is just as critical in this application as the back anchor. So we have the front legs both tied off, as you can see right here. In this configuration, we actually have not tied the back leg off. Depending on what you're expecting to do with the Vortex, you may or may not elect to tie it off. The reason in this application we did not tie it off is the fact we've got a 4-to-1 system in this main anchor line. This allows us to manually push this system forward with the rescue package on it so we can lower the rescuer and the equipment to go down the edge. Then we can anchor the system back, we can put the foot back in place, lock the system back. This is actually just a mechanical tool that allows me to push and pull an A-frame. This easel leg right now is actually a tripod. When I loosen it up and I push it forward, I'm actually just using it as a push pole to push my A-frame out over the edge.
Vince, again, I think it's easy to see how we take this new piece of technology where it may still look like just a basic tripod. It actually is very versatile, can be used for a lot of things. How important is it for someone to get the proper training in the use of each of these pieces of equipment?
Oh, that's critical. That's of the utmost importance. Just as anything else in rescue, something may look very simple. The way that we do our anchor systems, we all know that we can have force multipliers or force reducers. A 2-to-1 system versus a 1-to-1 with just a change of direction with a static pulley. The two look very similar, but there's a huge difference in the effect. The same is true with all this new technology. It is crucial and imperative that you get the proper training, read all the instructions that come with the tool, and if you have any questions, call the manufacturer. I've called them on several occasions. They've been very helpful.
All right.